Bye-bye, Aztecs football. No, not forever, for the week. It will just seem like forever while the season pauses with a bye until next week's 12:30 p.m. our time kickoff against Central Michigan on the road on CBS Sports Network. Steve Perez here, along with Louis Weiner, and this is Aztecs All In. Thanks for looking in on us. Louis looked in on the Monday postmortem for us.
Steve, Coach Louis on the penalties, the defense, and the move to the Pac-12.
And we'll talk with the mind behind the motion of Aztec Fast, head of football performance, Jeff Sobel. Let's get to it, Louis.
Sean Lewis says it will give his coaches a chance to get back to the basics with the players in practice and also hit the road to see some recruits in action. Aztecs coming off a 31-10 loss to Cal. That was just a 7-3 Cal lead at halftime. After watching the tape, Coach Lewis called the game a growing opportunity, and while he's happy with the effort, there are a lot of things to clean up.
Obviously, unique schedule, right? Just got off the field with the guys here. Had yesterday off with the travel and everything rolling into the bye. So guys got a little extra time to rest and recover. Slept in today, cleaned up the tape. Thought their attitude and their response to the film was really, really good. There's positives to be able to build off of. Thought the start was good. The way the defense came out and attacked early on was excellent to see. Again, obviously some things that need to be cleaned up as we go forward with it, but bright spots that need to be multiplied and magnified, and the self-inflicted wounds, again, kind of the story and theme of the year thus far. I know there's going to be questions about. We got to rectify those wrongs so that we can be in a better position to control the controllables and give ourselves a chance to win in a four-quarter fight. But excited about the growth of our team, excited about this week and the way that our guys have started off things this morning so we can grow and we can get better.
Steve, one thing the Aztecs will have to clean up going forward are the penalties. Saturday night, there were just way too many. 15 for 120 yards. Now, 12 of those came in the first half, so they did clean it up a little in the second half. Aztecs are now dead last in the FBS, 133 out of 133 teams, with 39 penalties for 349 yards. I got the chance to ask Coach about the penalties during this week's media availability.
Coach, the penalties and looking at the tape, was there anything to take from watching the game back and seeing with the penalties any connection to one to the other or anything like that?
There's lessons to be learned through all of it, right? Again, the ones that are completely within our control, right, where our emotions are getting the better of us, our lack of situational understanding of where the ball is relative to blocks that are being decided to make, and just knowing that, hey, in those moments, sometimes the block is no block, and that's the play, right? There's great lessons to be learned from that, and we'll grow from those lessons. And again, hopefully as we move forward, not hope, the number of penalties will go down, and we'll put ourselves in a better position to be successful, down in and down out. Lots of new guys working together, new quarterback, new cadence, right? There's a lot of pieces that go into that. Give the guys a couple extra tools, right, and make sure that there's consistency within, no matter who the quarterback is, with the flow and the rhythm of their cadence.
There was some good news on the quarterback front. Coach Lewis expects Danny O'Neal to be back at practice this week after missing Saturday's game. Javance Tuapata-Johnson got the start instead. No word who will start a week from Saturday against Central Michigan on the road. But Coach had plenty to say about what the offense can focus on during this bye week.
Doing the basic things at an elite level and making the routine. Identification of the front, being on the same page communication-wise, making sure that our guys have a clear and concise understanding of the conceptual calls so that when calls are being made, they're seeing it the same way that we are coaching it. And then when the opportunities present themselves to fit on a block proper, we do that. When the opportunity presents itself to play pitch and catch, we play pitch and catch, right? But there's no secret sauce. There is no special magical pixie dust that we're going to shake over this thing, right? We're going to get back to the basic building blocks and do those basic things at a more consistent and higher level, and then the results will come as a byproduct of that.
Of course, this season is just 3 games old, but this week off gives the coaching staff a chance to focus back on recruiting. A nice opportunity to look to the future while in the middle of the regular season grind. All the coaches, including Coach Lewis, will be watching high school football this Friday night.
Yeah, we're going to be out and about. Talent acquisition never stops, and be able to go get some live evaluations of kids that are on our board for this 25 class and beyond. So, we'll be all over the state. A couple of guys will leave the state to be able to go, check in on, guys that are a part of our family and other future Aztecs that we're looking to bring into the family. We'll be heading to Colorado, and not this bye week, but the next opportunity that we get, we'll be heading down to Texas as well. Making sure that, again, that's something that we do daily, and now when we have the opportunity to maximize to be able to get out and, do it in person to go get the evaluations, with this just being an evaluation phase, it's just an opportunity to go, not necessarily have contact with them in person because it's not that phase, but an opportunity to be able to watch them play, go through warm-ups, right, get a great live eval and check in with the counselors and teachers and, make sure that the individuals that, are on our board and committed to us, right, are those people that we know to be true. And, again, just, touch base with all the people that are in the building, interacting with them each and every single day.
Steve, the defense set the tone early during the Cal game with Trey White busting through to sack Fernando Mendoza on the first play of the game. On the game, he was credited with 2.5 sacks, and Tupu Olalu added a sack and a half. While Cal did rack up a lot of yards in the second half, Coach Lewis says he was pleased with the defensive effort overall, and especially those two players up front.
Yeah, they're taking strides each and every single week. We knew that we wanted to, set the tone early on. Obviously, we didn't like the way that we started week 2. So I thought Coach Smith, did a great plan and, giving confidence to the unit with the way that he called it early and all the way through. And those guys feed off that, right, as we go forward with it. Again, we got some real playmakers on that side of the ball that, between Trey, between Tano, between Chris Johnson, those guys have become consistent mainstays at all 3 levels and really looking for them to, grow as leaders and set the tone this week as we go forward about, again, the standards and the expectations, them taking hold of it, them taking ownership of it, and them continuing to elevate not just the defensive side of the ball, right, but the whole program as a whole, and growing in that regard. But, again, we're pleased with the growth that we've shown, not nearly satisfied of where we're capable of, and obviously need to have the competitive maturity down in and down out so that we don't give up the explosive runs. And if we do, get ourselves backed up into the red zone a little bit, that, we dig in and we fight and we don't surrender touchdowns, but hold opponents to the field goals and fight and finish each and every single drive, which will lead to, fighting and finishing through the quarters and the games, and we'll end up on the right side of the ledger. Yeah, with Trey, it's just learning the nuances of the position, and you see that growth each and every single week, right? Just with him going from level 2 down to level 1, with a positional change and attention to detail to his craft has put him in a great position to be successful. And then Tano, just again, the conceptual understanding of what we're doing within each one of the calls and knowing why we're in those calls relative to what we're seeing from the offense, so that he can help not only get himself in position to be successful, but to set the front and to make sure that everyone in front of him is in position so that we can execute the call that's being made. Now, again, we got to do that consistently, down in and down out, but that's where with both those kids I've seen the biggest strides and the biggest growth.
Steve, one final thing. Coach Lewis was asked how he thought the move to the Pac-12 would benefit his program. He said it puts the Aztecs at the forefront of conversations with guys who want to play at the highest level, and having that be part of the pitch is absolutely a game changer for the program.
Reporting from the Union Tribune this week is that wide receiver Balin Brooks is leaving the team, hitting the transfer portal over reduced playing time. He told the UT he wanted to redshirt, but was told, nope, stay and play or just go. Defensive back Bennett Walker is also out after dropping down the depth chart. As of Tuesday night, both were off the roster on the Go Aztecs website. Lewis, we had the chance to chat with another new member of the Aztecs coaching staff, head of football performance, Jeff Sobel. Another staff member goes back a ways with Coach Lewis. He joined toward the end of last year from the University of Akron, where he was strength and conditioning coach. But he worked with the Aztecs head coach for 5 years at Kent State in a similar capacity. Most of the times you spot him after practice, he's blasting off the field, heading to the weight room to help put guys through their paces. During games, he's down on the field trying to build up his players, have fun. Think about it, Lewis. These guys practice and they train for countless hours for a chance to see the football field in 12 games a year. If they're lucky, there's a chance at playing for a conference championship and a bowl game. And this year there's also an expanded college playoff system. But getting into that possibility at this stage of the Aztec fast transition is getting a bit over our skis. The point of all that is that Sobel is out there encouraging the lads to enjoy the game experience while it lasts, and most important, to work together as a team. As Sobel recounts in our talk, he and Coach Lou do go back a long ways.
It's been a long time, so 12 out of the last 13 seasons we've been together, and we go all the way back to Eastern Illinois. And when I was a GA strength coach there, and he was he got his first position coaching job there, so we clicked right away just because we're very like-minded people. I think we both love the weight room. We were able to hang out, and we both kind of had our bunch of big life events together. You know, we both had our first kid in Syracuse, and just all kinds of things that happen, and we've been close for a long time, and it's just kind of I'm really lucky to be able to work for somebody like that.
So you always knew you'd work together?
Yeah, I think we clicked right away, and then when he started, options to advance his career to be a head football coach, we had conversations where I was going to come with him and I was going to be ready to go whenever he was. So
San Diego State in the late aughts, they began the Brady Hoke era, and before that, he described the overall football player at San Diego State as, he said this: "We were soft." Did you see any of that when you took over, or are you trying to build on it, and what are you trying to build on in that
I think I definitely would never use the term soft. I think that the thing now is with the current climate of college football, and with the transfers coming in, and how we have the portal, and guys being able to leave whenever they want, and all these different things. I feel like one of our biggest jobs is to get them to come together, because it's the greatest team game in the world, right? So no matter how talented you are, you have to be able to come together and work as a team and as a unit. And I think developing that chemistry and putting them around each other as much as possible, putting them in hard situations that they have to conquer together, because doing hard work together is one of the best things that combined people that have not spent a lot of time with each other. So we kind of pride ourselves on doing that. But I mean, I would say for the most part, everybody's kind of battling those same battles now with the current climate of football. But we got to make sure that we're doing it better so that we can be connected and go out there and do what we need to do.
I heard stories about how you guys did that during the summertime with the sand drill and going to Coronado.
Yeah, we were doing. Yeah, I'm a big believer in doing hard things, because I think that that's the best way to, like I just said, kind of bind people together. And but it's not just about doing hard things. It's, a lot of it's calculated and making sure that we're giving them exactly what they need. But sometimes you got to throw exercise science out the window, and you got to work them hard and see what they're made of.
Have you seen any changes in the state of the art in strength and conditioning in the last 10 years?
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's completely different with what we have with GPS units and all the things that we can monitor in the weight room, all the variables and the tech that we have, just allows us to be better and to double check our work to make sure we're giving them exactly what they need.
At what point will you know you've done your job? Will it be at the end of the season when everybody's still playing hard and all in one piece?
Yeah, the injury report's a big deal for me to make sure we're strong and healthy. But I feel like what we do is a direct correlation with wins and losses and our mindset and how strong we are and how fast we're able to play and all these different things. I take personal, and I take a personal accountability to it. And we want to win every game, and anything other than that isn't acceptable. So,
is there a position that gives some performance coach extra things to think about, or nightmares?
No, I mean, I love them all, man. They all have their own. They're different things that make them tick, and they're different position groups that make them, who they are. And I want them to be who they are, but I'd always make sure that we're doing exactly what we need to do to make them the best version of themselves, regardless of the position that they play. So.
Each week, he says, no matter the opponent or their offensive and defensive schemes, his job's pretty much the same.
We're just we're making them the biggest, fastest, strongest humans that we possibly can, regardless of the opponent that we play, so that not only can we protect ourselves and be healthy between the white lines, but we can dominate our opponents too.
Is there any secret sauce to the recovery shake?
It's for the recovery what?
Shake.
Oh no, I mean, no, it's just getting them calories fast and just making sure that they're taking care of their bodies. Yeah, there's no magic to that.
Where will you be during a typical football game, and specifically?
I'm roaming the sidelines, having a lot of juice, having a lot of fun, jumping around, watching them do what they do, because we spend a lot of time training all year round for 12 opportunities. So we're going to celebrate and have a bunch of fun on game day.
Last two games, Lewis Aztecs haven't had much to celebrate on game day, but with any luck and plenty of hard work, thanks to Jeff Sobel, that will change in Mount Pleasant, Michigan on September 28th against the Central Michigan Chippewas. Time to say goodbye to the nice people, Lewis.
Thank you, Steve, and that will do it for this edition of Aztecs All In. Thank you so much for listening. Please follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. You can also drop us a line, aztecsallin@gmail.com, or follow us on the X, Aztecs_all_in. So until next time, for Steve Perez, I'm Louis Weiner. Take care.